scheduled live, like the usual lately seems for me. For some reason, I can't keep to a schedule, like I said in my previous live. This, I think, is going to be a very short live, and it's okay, and I understand if there won't be anyone on this live. I mean, you can always catch up later. Now, the reason for me doing this live is because I am keeping with the latest news, you know, around the Madeleine Mccann investigation and so on and so forth. And I guess that we kind of predicted that this is going to happen. So let's talk about the funding. You remember, guys, that in our previous lives, we were kind of asking ourselves, is there going to be any more funding? Will the funding finally stop for all of these? And then I was kind of like, there must be a reason as to why Christian Bruckner is all of a sudden all over the news, because the request for funding is very close by for the Mccann investigation. And that might have something to do with this, as in Christian Bruckner being all over the news lately. So I just found a news article about 2 days ago, and I actually wanted to do this live yesterday, but never mind, I just couldn't get myself on camera yesterday for some reasons, but I don't want to get into it. So yeah, I'm gonna take my tablet again, and I'm going to read you the news article. This is from GB News. And let me just show you this here. Like I said, this is going to be a very quick live. Okay, I'll just give you a couple of seconds, guys, if there will be anyone watching or joining this live. But anyway, the title for this article, it says here, Madeleine Mccann investigation to receive £100,000 as detectives handed financial boost in search for toddler. There you go, guys. Just as we all predicted, if you are following this channel and you are members of this channel, as in, sorry, subscribers to this channel, we kind of saw this happening, right? You know, when there is a pattern, it's quite obvious, because over the years it's basically been the same. Everything is quiet in the media, and then all of a sudden, a couple of months before a new funding request, you see all sorts of things in the media in relation to Madeleine's disappearance, and new clues and blah blah, and the new evidence allegedly and stuff like that. And then boom, all of a sudden they receive more funding. So you need to kind of be an idiot not to realize that something is going on. Allegedly, in my opinion, okay? Again, in my opinion, this is just me, myself, and I, someone on the internet. Okay, let me read this article. Investigators have fixated efforts on a 47-year-old German national in recent years. Detectives investigating Madeleine Mccann's disappearance have received a £100,000 grant to help continue the probe into the missing toddler. The Metropolitan Police has received £13 million from the UK government to investigate the case since 2011. Now, please keep in mind, guys, that we are in 2024, okay? In 2024, this has been going on since 2011, as in the funding. So up until this point, they received already £13 million in funding. So my question is, if in all of these years, with all of this money, £13 million, they've managed to find nothing, absolutely nothing, what would make them think that now, in 2024, if they receive more funding, they will find something, right? Again, this is, and in today's economy, because I don't want to get political or anything like that, all I'm saying, in today's economy, to get more funding is just ridiculous, in my opinion. And it's more than ridiculous, because we are seeing more and more people, more and more families struggling financially, and asking for help, and perhaps quite possibly not receiving any help. And here we have a couple of doctors who earn a lot of money, still receiving funding for an investigation which we already know that didn't yield any kind of results. And in my opinion, all of you guys who are following me, we can already kind of figure out what happened, more or less. And we know from our shared opinion that no matter how much money will be thrown to this funding, to this investigation, we will never get to the bottom of it, because the truth that we believe is never gonna come out. So yeah, it's kind of pointless and it's kind of useless, but then also on the other hand, it kind of makes sense, because as soon as you stop the funding, that means that's it. You know, that means that somebody high up there has to say, okay, you know what, Madeleine Mccann is dead. This is what happened. We know what happened. There won't be any more funding available. And so they can't really allow that to happen, because as soon as they say Madeleine Mccann died, she passed away, there is absolutely no justification for further funding requests. Whereas if you keep on going with the same narrative that Madeleine Mccann is missing, Madeleine Mccann disappeared, we are still investigating her disappearance, and we will never stop investigating her disappearance, then it kind of makes sense that the funding will keep on going if, and this is again in my opinion, as an idiot on the internet, if there are new clues spread all over the media showing that, oh, look at this, there is more evidence, but now the police can't investigate anymore because they don't have any more funding, so let's give them a bit more funding to justify something, right? I'm very frustrated at this, because again, my main concern is that there are so many people struggling nowadays financially, and yet we are still going on with the same story since 2000. And when did Madeleine Mccann go missing? 2007, right? Yes. And we are now in 2024, and we are still going with this. It's beyond ridiculous. Yeah, so I'm just going to carry on with reading the rest of the article. Let's see what else it says here, which we don't already know, okay? A request for further funding from the Home Office was made by Scotland Yard on behalf of Operation Grange. It was only put forward in the last few days, as the £110,000 budget for 2023-2024 was due to run out at the end of March. That's because this is the end of the financial year, March, right? Okay, let me see. Right. Then Home Secretary Theresa May launched Operation Grange after former Prime Minister David Cameron requested detectives' help in the hunt, in the search for Madeleine Mccann. A source close to the McCanns told the Daily Mail, quote, "This is very welcome news. Kate and Jerry have never given up hope, and nor will they. Finding Madeleine or what happened to her is paramount to them. They are eternally grateful to the officers from Operation Grange and are being kept in touch on aspects of the hunt, and the police obviously have leads if a request for funding has been made." End of quote. It's the same story each and every single time when a new funding is approved. We who are following this case, we already know. We've already seen, we've already read, and it's kind of like deja vu all over again. Each time. This is happening like each year, right? Yeah. It's, oh God, oh. So let me carry on. Despite the latest cash injection, the team of officers working on the case has been reduced from 40 to just 4. Home Office figures also revealed that funding fell in recent years from £300,000 in 2018 to 2021 to just £110,000 in the last financial year. It's not so just, it's still a hell of a lot of money, which they can use this money for everything and anything else, really. And if we are just to think about this, they could very well use this money on other missing children. I'm sorry, it might sound insensitive. I'm not trying to be insensitive, but it's kind of, why are other children not receiving the same funding, right? This is the main question. Because as sad as it is, and I'm very sad that Madeleine Mccann disappeared, so a lot of other children disappear, and there is not much attention given to them. There is not much investigation into the disappearances. Also, there is not much funding into those disappearances. So what makes this case so special, you know? A lot of people would be asking. So a Home Office spokesperson said, and I quote again, "In line with our special grant processes, funding for Operation Grange is approved on an annual basis. Funding for 2023-2024 will run until March 31st, and decisions on 2024-2025 will be made in the next financial year in line with usual practice." So if the top of this article says that they have been granted £100,000, that means that they have been granted £100,000, right? A spokesperson for Scotland Yard told the Daily Mail that a request for funding was made, but declined to discuss the amount. You know what, guys? Sometimes I'm thinking, because me, I usually have a very loose mouth, and I can't really control myself when I have to speak out, I have to say it. Sometimes I'm wondering, man, I'm talking about these things, and seriously, I am in the UK, and I'm also in the Northwest. So, you know, I might be paranoid and overthinking it, because sometimes I am like that. But, man, you never know. You never know what can happen. Just a thought there. Okay, let me just carry on. Investigators have fixated recent efforts on 47-year-old German national Christian Brugner. Now, there is one thing which I agree with this article: fixated. Fixated. So this is kind of, yes, I agree with that. They have fixated on Christian Brugner. That's all I'm gonna say. Hi, Chumba. Thank you so much for joining. Chumba is asking, what have I missed? Well, I just came across an article because I don't know if you remember, in our previous lives, we kind of touched the subject of further funding for the Madeleine Mccann investigation. And I was mentioning that it's kind of very suspicious that all of a sudden Christian Brugner is all over the media, and why that might be. And we were kind of discussing that perhaps the reason why he's constantly lately in the media is because the time for new funding request is coming, and so they need to kind of show that, look, they have to keep going. And it turns out that all of our community here on YouTube, we kind of, oh, I forgot the word. Oh man, sometimes I forget my words. Yeah, we were kind of right, because what you missed, Chumba, is that they are going to get £100,000 more in funding for Madeleine McCann search. Yeah, that's long story short, basically. And I'm just going through this news article, reading. You won't be able to see, probably, because of the light. So I'm just reading the article where it says about the funding. And another thing you missed is, it says in the article that up until now, Operation Grange received £13 million in funding. £13 million. Yeah. Let me see, is there anything else? Oh, there is just this is just the last paragraph from the article. So, the convicted sex offender who worked at Ocean Club tapas bar at the popular holiday destination denies any involvement in Mccann's disappearance. Okay, so another thing which they mention here in the article is the convicted sex offender. As far as I'm aware, unless I'm mistaken and there must have been other convictions, he's only just now on trial for allegations. So I don't know why they refer to him as convicted, unless, again, like I say, I have so many things in my head that maybe I'm just missing some other previous conviction of his. However, Bruckner was identified as the main suspect in the case back in 2022. He's currently serving a prison sentence in Germany following a conviction for raping a 72-year-old woman. Court documents say that he also allegedly abducted another child just days before the British toddler was taken. He is also standing trial after being accused of more sex crimes unconnected from Mccann's disappearance. And this is the end of the article. Right. Chumba is saying, Chumba, am I saying your name right? Chumba is saying, Cat, the tapas bar doesn't exist now. It's a new venue. Yes, I know, but it just came to light, apparently, allegedly, from a British expat, which who went to the media saying that at the time of Madeleine's disappearance, it seems, allegedly, that Christian Bruckner worked at the Ocean Club. But apart from him saying that, there is absolutely no other witness, nobody at the tapas bar, no employees, no Portuguese police, nobody heard or mentioned anything about Christian Bruckner working there. But this guy, he said he did. Under the table, it seems, which I highly doubt that. But, you know, it's just what came to light, I might add, in quotation marks, because we just can't trust anyone at this point, because this guy is coming forward now in 2024. That's very weird, isn't it? Hey, Martin, thank you for joining. Let's see. Martin is saying, since the Grange operation is only considering abduction, it's highly unlikely to even come near to the truth. But the funds just keep coming. Funny that. Yes, Martin, I agree with you. And I'm guessing that they are considering only the abduction for a specific reason, so that they can carry on with the funding, so that the funding keeps on coming, because as soon as they say, that's it, Madeleine Mccann is dead, that's it, the funding stops, because there is no other reason for them to keep on asking for funding. But again, it's very interesting because, okay, Operation Grange, I get it, but what is the connection? Why are all this money coming in? And most importantly, my main question is, where are this money going? I mean, we can kind of suspect that this money are going somewhere, but, you know, there is absolutely no clear evidence that the money are going somewhere, but the money are going somewhere. But it's not, I don't think that the money are going into an investigation, because what is there more to investigate? What are new leads? There are no new leads. Chumba is saying Operation Grange was a load of bullcrap. Yeah, I agree with that. In my humble opinion, yes. Martin is saying the money is going into Lotus pockets. Into lawyers' pockets, probably. Yeah, the money is going somewhere. That's for sure. It is going somewhere. This is never ending, you know, and this is not going to end. And I'm sure that the next time when the date for a new funding request will be approaching, the same thing is going to keep on happening. It's the same pattern, and we've seen it over the years. And it's always, it's always the same, and we always reach the same conclusion, that they will be getting funding again. And we are always right, aren't we? Because yet again, they are still getting funding, even though I think that it was an MP, a certain MP, who said that she doesn't think there will be any more funding. Or was it someone else? I don't know, but I've read it in a news article. Sometimes I don't even pay attention to these things, because as soon as I read the title, I'm like, oh, this is another load of rubbish. Yeah. So anyway, guys, thank you so much for joining. And for those of you who are catching up later, I'm sorry I keep on going live without scheduling it beforehand, without giving you any kind of notice. But I'm kind of all over the place with everything. And sometimes I'm thinking, right, I'm going to do this live this evening, and then I end up changing my mind, or yeah, something like that. Because that's my mind is nowhere right now. I'm dealing with some stuff. Sorry. Anyway, thanks guys again, and take care. Stay safe out there, and I'll be seeing you in the next video, the next live, you know, whenever that might be. I don't want to give you an exact date in case I won't be able to make it. So thanks Martin, thanks Chumba, and thanks to everybody else. Take care guys. Bye.